We are now just 2 days away from the trade deadline. And the team most under scrutiny is, say it with me, the Cleveland Cavaliers. You cannot have a conversation around the NBA right now without people asking about Cleveland. And the way that conversation is being framed is, are they going to try to make a move to try to convince LeBron to resign this summer? Or are they going to try to protect themselves for a rebuild, knowing he could walk away? The problem is, framing it that way doesn't really tell the truth about Cleveland's choices right now. First, we have to be honest about where Cleveland is. The Cavaliers thought they could get away with trading Kyrie Irving for IT, Jay Crowder, and a pick and still be good enough to get to the finals. Could they beat the Warriors? Maybe not, but you didn't beat them last year with Kyrie, and at least this way you'd get a lottery pick to soften the blow if LeBron walks. It's not crazy reasoning, but it was a gamble, and time has proven that gamble wrong. This current team, as constructed, does not appear to be going to the finals. This current team has not shown it can necessarily get out of the first round. So now the math is a little different. The goal line has moved. The choice in front of the Cleveland front office in the next 48 hours is, are we going to make a move to maximize this season when we still have a once-in-a-generation NBA talent on the roster? Or do you throw your hands up on this season in February because protecting the future is also legitimately important? And I want to game out what we're really talking about here. Option one, don't be reckless, but be aggressive. Spend some of your assets, draft picks, expiring contracts, to get a player who could help make a finals run this year. Remember that it took 37 years for the Cavs to get to the finals before LeBron showed up. It could take another 37 to get back after he leaves. So in that scenario, you are deciding investing in deals that will, yes, keep money on your books for an extra couple years is worth it. You keep the fans happy, you make some history if you end up in a fourth straight finals against the Warriors, and some of the extra money you take on in luxury tax you offset with the $20 million extra you bring in playoff revenue. Or there is option two, a sour end to the LeBron James era in Cleveland that likely ends with an early playoff exit, season ticket holder angst. But you have protected for the future. So let's say you have kept both of those first round picks. You have not taken on any extra money. Right now, that next pick would be number 8. So for reference, this year's number 8 pick was the Knicks' Frank Ntilikina. Solid, not a franchise changer. The Cavs would also have the number 24 pick right now. Last year, that was Tyler Lydon. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Maybe this summer, you also trade Kevin Love for some future picks, and you try to develop all those young players. Some you will, some will be busts. You'll probably chase free agents, but it's Cleveland, which historically has not been able to draw those free agents. And it will go on that way for years. How many years? Well, the Timberwolves traded Kevin Garnett to rebuild back in 2007. It's 11 years later. They have yet to return to the playoffs. The Magic dealt Dwight Howard in 2012. They got 5 picks back just in that deal to help their rebuild. But they haven't made the playoffs since either. Now, what about if you really tank for a couple years, or if you get lucky in the lottery? What if, say, you're the Lakers, since Kobe blew out his Achilles, and you've had the number 7 pick, the number 2 pick again, the number 2 pick again, the number 2 pick again? Nope. The Lakers, still not a playoff team with all those picks. In fact, they're busy preparing a pitch for, this is irony, LeBron James to come and save them. The truth is that even if the Cavaliers protect their future on Thursday, that future is still likely to be long and painful. The choice is whether they want that pain to start on Friday, while LeBron is still on the roster, essentially start your rebuild a half season early, or take advantage of having LeBron for at least 5 or 6 more months and put that rebuild off, which does mean stretching it probably a year or 2 longer. It's not an easy answer either way, but at least we all need to be honest about the question. Paul, there is no Billy King left in the NBA. There is no one who is going to let the Cavs short-circuit a rebuild the way Danny Ainge did when he traded you to Boston. So if you are the Cavs and you were talking about maximizing this season versus doing one of those rebuilds and how fast, whether is it going to be 5 years or 7 years kind of thing, which are you picking?
Oh, my goodness. You know, when you lose LeBron James, this could be an epic 30-year hiatus for the Cleveland Cavaliers of non-playoff basketball. It's like there's nothing they can do right now. I mean, there's no players out there they can pick up. Their only hope right now is the hope that Isaiah gets back to where he was somewhat last year. If that doesn't happen, then they're toast.
What we have here is a failure to communicate. We have a failure to communicate from the ownership to LeBron. We have a failure from LeBron to ownership, although LeBron isn't really incumbent on ownership, telling ownership. In all honesty, as I look at the lay of the land now, especially as you articulated what happened with that Isaiah trade, I think where the mistake was made was last summer. I think Dan Gilbert, in retrospect, should have gone Jerry Buss when Kobe and Shaq were, Kobe said he wanted to leave, like Kyrie did, and he probably had to make a decision between the two. And he probably should have gone to LeBron last summer and said, we can't keep you together, we're going to take you apart. I need you to commit to me now, and if you don't, I'm going to go with Kyrie and I'm going to try to trade you. Even though LeBron had a no-trade clause, obviously it could have been worked out. What we have is a half measure instead, and now we have a mess later on. And that's what I said, you cannot do any more half measures. More half measures cause problems. They would need to get...
So answer the question. Would you try to save this season? Or would
You gotta save the season for the fact you have LeBron James.
Okay, what about you?
I mean, yeah.
I think they need to get in a room together, have a ceasefire. Dan needs to step towards the middle, LeBron needs to step towards the middle and make the most of this season.